Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this video, we will be discussing some important questions on ASP.NET Core, and again in terms of performance optimization, how and what all steps you can implement so that once you have completed your web application, it should be performing well, it should be optimized. So for all those things, the modules that are already there in ASP.NET Core, we must have a detailed understanding of those modules. So let us start the video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please click on the subscribe button so that you get important updates whenever a new video is added on the channel. So today we'll discuss about state management. So again, as you know that HTTP is stateless. So how server distinguish between different requests, because HTTP doesn't have anything, it's a stateless. So in order to do the state management, what all things you can do in ASP.NET Core. So first thing is like you can use cookies. So cookies are stored on the browser, so client machine. So again, we have a lot of restrictions there also, but again, cookies is one of the way through which you can manage the state. Second thing is session. Again, session are stored on the server. So using session also, you can manage the state. So whatever time period the browser is open and what all request response are being there. So it is stored in session. Again, it is stored on server. So it consumes the memory of server. Now cookies are on client side, sessions are on server side. Then we have query string. So query strings are the way through which we pass the information in query string. In the URL, we are appending the parameters through which server recognizes the call that okay, these are the parameters, and based upon that it process the response. Then we have hidden field also. In HTML, we can put different hidden fields through which we can manage the state. Then we have cache. So in cache also, again cache, we have in-memory cache. We can store the cache on database also. So through these techniques, we are able to manage the state. Now, it all depends on the requirement of the project, what type of state management you are going to implement. Then the next question is, can ASP.NET project can be containerized, or we can use Docker to containerize the ASP.NET application? Yes. So containerization can be done on all types of projects, whether it is .NET, Python, PHP, Java. So this container part, again, it's not related to any technology. It is a concept through which we make our application available exactly similar to all what is working on your local machine. So all the environment variables, all the local environment, so all those same thing is put into a container, and again this container runs on a different server. Again, there is no operating system, it's only the your code and its dependencies. Then the next will be what is model validation. Now model validation, as the name suggests, that the model is going to validate. So model is the database part. So anything and everything that is going to enter or that is going to be stored in the database, it should be validated. Now in ASP.NET Core, model validation is very simplified, and model validation basically, you have lot of annotations like required, string length, minimum, maximum, range. So it is just that you put the annotation on that particular variable. It is int, string, float, whatever value that you are going to store. Apart from the declaration of its data type, you need to put these annotations. So this model validation is being done at the model level, and then it makes sure that whatever data is being stored, it is stored properly, and nothing, I mean, that is not required to be stored in that particular column, again it is rejected, or it will throw an exception if you try to add any kind of data. Then we have a concept called model binding. So model binding basically provides the capability to map the data from HTTP request to action method. So model binding means whenever there is a request, so which method will be used to process the request, and again the controller will be there. So name of the controller, the method that is being used by the controller. It simplifies handling incoming data by automatically converting it from various sources such as JSON, query string into .NET object, and then this .NET object is again being consumed by your model. So this is model binding, reducing manual parsing of data. So again from controller to model, all the parsing and everything, so that whatever is desired by model, it only does that thing. Next we will discuss about a middleware. So again, middleware are different modules that participate in processing of the request. So we'll start up with one middleware called authentication, that is the gateway. Then we'll go for authorization, then we'll go for use static files, then we'll go for use default files, then we will go for use routing, MVC routing. So there are number of middleware that works one after the other, that pass the request from one middleware to another middleware, just to make sure that the request processing is done properly. Like we have a middleware called CORS if you are implementing web API. So there is some cross origin request is coming, so we have to implement that also. So all those things, again it comes in request processing, response processing, so that there are number of modules, they again we put into the configure method, so that we are sure that all the required middlewares are there to process the request. So this is very important. So main concept in .NET Core for request processing is your middleware, and your I application builder, it sets all the middleware so that the order of the middleware is proper, and then based upon that your request will be processing. If there is any issue in the order of the middleware, then in that case your request will not be processed, or the processing will not be proper. So there will be, if there is some issue in the placement of the middleware, then in that case processing will not be as expected. So these were some few questions on ASP.NET Core. We will be keep discussing some more questions, because again these are basic to advanced level questions, and again normally asked in most of the interviews. So apart from what practical knowledge you have, you should have these theoretical knowledge also, because again initially you have to make sure that you understand the concept, and then after that you need to you should be able to explain it, the concept, and again if required, interviewer can ask you to write the code also. So this is all for today. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and thank you for watching this video.